just felt, you had a group of safeties, linebackers, and D linemen that we felt very strong about. So, but it's still very fluid, and we're still very active. And we're number one on that claim, which is going to take place tomorrow. So that's why.
Can you? I know you can't give specifics, but could you share with us whether a vaccinated versus unvaccinated player had an impact on a roster decision?
Everyone was considered. That was part of the production. Let's start talking about this, and then also, is he vaccinated or not? Can I say that was a decision maker? It was certainly in consideration.
What was this experience like for you, Coach, trimming the roster down for the first time? You talked about the guys in the locker room. It's easy to get rid of guys that are pains, but you said multiple times you didn't have many guys like that.
I had zero, and that was very difficult today. The good thing is this practice squad has been enhanced over the last year and a half. So I think we had to trim by 27, but 16 of them are going to come back tomorrow at 1 o'clock, and we're still working through that as we speak. So that was a little bit more easier to deal with than just see you later. So we have a good chunk of guys we plan on, if they don't get claimed, coming back.
Was this a tough challenge for you?
Yeah, it was awful to an extent. Like I said, if it was a bad guy, and we don't have bad guys here. I mean, this has been an incredible experience for me, and I told every one of the guys as I met with them. I mean, I can't, since day one, our staff's been in here. You guys have been awesome. I mean, this has been much better than I ever expected.
Safety, obviously a position that we've all talked about. You've talked about
Safety.
Trying to find that second safety and rotating them, and how many do you keep? What went into the decision with that position in particular?
Well, we had, there was 8 that we felt comfortable with. That was, I think all 8 will play in the NFL. So does our GM, and so does our defensive coordinator and backfield coach. So what went in is obviously special teams value. Rayshon Jenkins is playing at a very high level. And then you just start, DT was out for a while with COVID, and then comes in and forces 2 fair catches and looks fast as lightning on the field, and, has some pretty good film. Jared was a tough one, Jared Wilson, but I don't think that one's done. We're still having conversations how to make that work, but and then Wingard had an excellent game on Sunday. Who else we have back there? Cisco, we feel really good about his future, and Rudy, my gosh, he's been we took him because our emphasis on special teams. He can play back there. He's been playing. He started at dime, and was a very good blitzer and all over the field. So we feel that's gone from a major concern in January to, look, we're going to be all right.
Is he really the best gunner you've ever seen?
Best gunner. Some guys at my old schools are going to get very upset at me when I say that, but he's as good as I've ever seen. He's legit fast. We on purpose didn't. I don't think the last game we let him go do it. But in kickoff, he's just so far out in front of everyone else. Really good player.
Staying in the secondary, you guys made the move to trade Sidney Jones last night. What went into that decision?
It was going to be hard to make it with CJ, with Tyson Campbell, who was dinged up, but he'll be back ready to go. We feel good about him. He's got to make a play down the field a little bit better than he did. Our Shaq, those are the top 3, and then we feel really strong about Trey Herndon. We feel he's done a lot of good things around here. He's a good chance he'll start at nickel or battle Tyson for that spot. And we just felt that Sidney's got some, it might be the best opportunity for him too.
5 receivers. But
Yeah.
That's concern number 1 for me. We got Dorsett is dinged right now. We brought in Devin Smith, and he goes out there and makes a catch that I haven't seen our guys make. So, but he's also had 2 ACLs. He's an older player. But he gives you the top end of he can knock the top off the coverage. That's my biggest concern, and also 3 running backs with ETN being out. So that's 24/7 conversation as we continue.
Do you expect Shark and Marvin and Tavon to be ready for that first week, or is that?
Say again, Shark, yes.
Marvin,
Yes.
all 3 of them?
Yep.
we've talked about identity. Now that you've got your team somewhat assembled, do you have an idea what you want the identity to be and what it will be?
Offensively?
Both, all of it, maybe.
Yeah, it's I want a fast team, and I really liked, and I realized there was a lot of guys out on both sides. We didn't play an offensive line. We had 1 starter out of our top 7 play, and top 2 receivers out. But I like the tempo. I like the fact that we were combination spread elements, as well as under center elements, which I think our quarterback is very good at. I thought the aggressiveness by Devereaux Bevel was good. We pushed the ball down the field, and we, on 3rd and 4, ran a double move, those are things I'm used to, and we're going to continue to push the envelope on that stuff.
Obviously, it's more Trent's side of the ball, if you may, pun intended. But when it comes to waiver wire, have you started looking around, hearing about guys yourself?
Yeah, that's we're gonna. It's kind of it's a little bit like the free agency thing for the vested vet. You're going to see, because they're not the waiver guys. It's almost free agency again. But then the young players. So that's going on right now as we speak.
Is there any position in particular that maybe you guys saw other things out there and you were like, okay, let's.
I told you, receiver, running back are the two number ones. We have a little capital at the D line. I mean, we feel good about the depth of our D line, and there's some good players that Costin's a good player. And we're trying to find ways to make this thing work to keep a guy like that. But I'm sure you can.
What did Taven do to make it?
Boy, he played really well yesterday or Sunday. We think with Joe and with Tosh, he's a guy that it's time to play. He's been around, and I can see the urgency in his look and his practice, and then the way he played really well on Sunday.
What did Chris Clayburgh show you throughout the preseason?
Yeah, he's a guy that's the other one. I'm sorry, I should have brought him up when you brought up Sidney. He's a guy that Tim Walton and Joe Dana and Joe Cullen felt he's done good. He's helps us with special teams. He's a cover guy. You wish he was a little bigger, but he's a little bit of he's a competitive guy.
How feel about the kicking game? Are you planning to bring in a kicker?
We had that conversation. We have maybe a practice squad guy that can be a backup to all in case something happens. We're doing that actually today, but as of now, we're going with the 3 long snapper, the Cook, and with Lambo. Lambo hit it really well.
Going back to the vaccinations, is that just the NFL made it so punitive for guys who aren't vaccinated that you just
Well,
have
Josh
to-
Allen's never had it.
Right.
He's not played in 2 weeks, so he's never had COVID. And I don't know if I'm allowed to say that, but he's never had COVID. So that's pretty punitive.
Dorsett released, just what went into that, and do you feel like you have enough speed at that position?
No, he's still in the picture. We're thinking of way, he's dinged right now. He's got a hamstring, and he's had a little bit of an issue since he's been here with that. So we're trying to make that. We want to keep him, if there's a way to keep him.
You also only kept 3 tight ends. How much of a concern is that for you?
That was tough because Tyler Davis really came on near the end. We're going to try to keep him as well as Ellison. They really done a nice job. We still don't have that. O'Shaughnessy's our best receiver right now. Luke's coming on. I like that position. I love who they are, but we still need to get one more at some point.
Colin Johnson, a guy that was on this roster last year, what went into that conversation?
It was a hard one as well because he's an awesome guy. Once again, that picture's still not finalized.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, sir.